one is schedule. I'm still working on this scheduling, so I will send you this file after the class by today, not tomorrow. So today I will try to cover the general arrangement, finishing up the first part, and then second part is released today, right? And we already covered course outline. Student survey is not yet due. Okay, I can do that. Introduction of student. And KakaoTalk is working. How to lecture and how to turn project will be shown to you today after first part of the lecturing. And next week we will have a homework 1 and also makeup class hours, finding out, because we may need sometimes I have a business trip, so that we can switch regular class to another time slot. So try to find out which time is available for all of us. That is the makeup class time, finding out. And then we will try to make up a project team, because we are 6 members now, so we can have 2 teams of 3 members each. So you can try to find out a good person, good members. My only requirement for teaming up is heterogeneity. So I want to be a similar person, close by. Do not make a team together. Different people can make a team. Any question?
So are the teams
made? Sorry, say again.
Do we make the teams by ourselves, or are we going to ask the 2 groups by you?
Oh, you can make your teams by discussing. So we will have a time, short time. TA may lead to arrange that teaming up. I will not assign you as a team. So it's your choice.
Okay.
All right, so let's go on to lecture note. If you do not have any further question. All right, so this is the material we did last time. Something is wrong with my notebook. Where's working? Oh, not responding to me. What happens? Okay, let's try again. All right, this time it's working. So last time I stopped around where? This section drawing? This one? Is it right? I stopped here, right? No? Can somebody else remember? Oh, yeah, I probably stopped here. Okay. So this is a mid-section drawing that is important for structural safety, whether the ship is not breaking into 2 parts on the sea because of the high wave, right? and the shape is very similar in gross way. Looks like a big fish, like a shark or something like the big fish, with bone structure. Okay, so basic principle of general arrangement is where to locate. Oh, and then there is a conflict between which one is which, where. Something like engine room location of a small power yacht, because usually the center part of the ship is more stable than two end part. As you remember that ship is pitching and rolling. We will see in the later the name of the motion. Pitching is in this way, front is going up and down, and rolling is sideways motions. And at the center, this is the center of the motion. The magnitude and acceleration is smaller than far end, so that people want to stay near the center of the gravity of the ship for the smaller motion and acceleration. So for small yacht, power yacht, that is a luxury power yacht, the rich men, they want to stay calm when the ocean is rough. But at the same time, engine is big, so that they cannot be housed toward the end of the small ship, because of the after part of the ship towards the end is very narrow there. So there is not enough room for them. So there is a conflict between larger space and stable station position. So cabin accommodation want to be mid position, but the engine need a larger enough space. So they want to be more coming towards the mid position of the small ship. Big ship is okay. Big ship has enough space, but small ship has a problem. And no two designers will come up with the same answer. This is a general principle in design, any design. Say hair design, or fashion design, or what is that? Cooking, dish, food. They have a different solution, even though they have a same requirement or same material to design or build. The final result can be different for each designers. So it is a general principle that every design has different solutions. So that means there is no single correct solution there, right? That's why we need experience and creative working for design, any design, including general arrangement. Oh, this is a model ship located in this building where I am located, N27, Eureka building. I guess some of you are staying in this room too, but many of you are not in this room, in this building. So you may try to visit here sometime. At the lobby, there is this ship, and also there is another one. And this ship is coming from shipyard named as STX. The title is in here, STX, and showing that 2,900 TU. You know what is TU? 20 equivalent unit. There's a 20 feet long containers, and it is a container vessel, but only hull is shown here. Above the water is not important for the model test. This model is made by wood model, but this one is built because of the model test. Model test is for measuring resistance along the ocean to decide on engine power. What kind of engine should be purchased and manufactured. And the ship size is written here. LOA, we already see that. Length overall, and LBP, length between perpendicular, breadth, depth, and draft, and service speed. 22 knots. We can say the design speed, because if you see the car, passenger car or truck, the speed can be varying depending on your acceleration, right? And also speed limit on the road. But in ocean, there is no speed limit. What can be the speed? It is depending on the pilot and also engine master. But the designer is set to have a economic speed. Economic speed is also given to any motor car on the road, right? Economic speed is the speed the car is moving using small amount of gasoline for a given distance of travel. So this kind of thing is also similar to commercial vessel here, service speed. But for the Navy vessel, the economy is not important. So they need to have a higher speed to win the battle. So that the service speed in Navy ship is different from the cargo ships. So we'll see in the later stage. Question? All right. Principles again. So primary function of the ship is the key for harmonizing conflict. There are already many conflicts, even in arrangement inside the building, your building here, there, or your location. Where to put the door, where to put the staircase, and where to put the toilet, and where to put the, say, boiler. It is sometimes conflict. And also the rooms for students and rooms for professors and rooms for supporting people, they need to be located somewhere. And also rooms for experimental facilities. The decision should be based on which one is the most important function of that building or ship. So let's see, that primary function must be governing the design. For example, fishing boat. Fishing boat, locating the fish catching equipment is most important, right? Because the ship is for catching fishes. But depending on the fish type, fish species, the catching equipment is different. Sometimes we use net, sometimes we use hook, sometimes we use a highlight, or sometimes we use a catch box or catch ball, and also the shape and size is very different. So that depending on the fish type, the catching equipment is decided, and then based on catching equipment arrangement, the ship arrangement should be changed. And for the Navy ship, the primary function is win the battle. Right? For the cargo ship, cargo carrying capacity and equipment is the most important. So for the cargo ship, method of cargo handling is important. That is the primary function of the ship. How the cargo moved on and off of the ship. That is the way of handling cargo, right? So for example, ro-ro ship is a roll on, roll off ship. It's a short name of rolling on, rolling off ship. So there need to be a ramp for that moving vehicles. And then cargo hold, cargo room within the hull, how can we arrange that? So this is, okay, go ahead.
What's the previous slide? What's hull or hull? This one? Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Right. Hull is something like this one. This one is looks like a ship. We call this is a hull. Hull is the something like a body of the ship. We will see what is the difference because for making a building, the steel structure is erected first, right? And we can say that steel structure can be the hull or together with the outer skin of the building. And then you need to make a piping and electric cable and elevators, machinery, boilers, and lighting, desk. Those things are we call the outfitting in shipbuilding. Probably same wording in also building construction industry. So hull and outfitting is a two big grouping inside the ship. Say for the car construction company, car making company, Hyundai or GM or Volkswagen, the car making is started with steel cutting and welding, right? It's very similar. So that at the beginning, the steel fabrication is the first part to make a body of the car. So usually we call this is a white body, because there is nothing attached to them. And then after finishing up the body of the car, you need to put the engine, tire, seat, and handle, and audio box, and something like that, and interior, and audio box. That kind of thing we can say outfitting. So two main groups is hull or body, and then outfitting or interior, something like that. Okay, so that is the hull. So hull is body of the ship. It will be more clear as we go on to something, but usually hull and outfitting is two big groups. So cargo moving equipment is located or grouped into equipment outfitting rather than hull. All right, so this is a sample of a car carrier. So you see that there are many floors, and each floor has many cars there, right? And also you can see that different colors and different shapes. So there are buses, passenger cars, and trucks, too, many different cars. And also there is a ramp where the car is moving up and down to the floor. And then also at the very end of the ship, there's a giant, we call it a stern ramp. Stern is the end of the ship, and a ramp is this kind of. This one is lower down to the port side, so that cars are moving into the ship. So if you have a chance to visit Ulsan or say Pyeongtaek, there is a port. Ulsan, there is a Hyundai Motors company, and they have their own port. And near the port, ships like this one is stay there, and there's a big parking lot of new cars. They are waiting for loading into this kind of ship. But you need to have a good scheduling for delivery of these ships to different countries. Once it's full, then one say, let's visit first time to, how can I say, Hong Kong and Singapore, and then Abu Dhabi, Rotterdam, or somewhere else. Then some of the cars should be delivered there. Okay? So traffic inside the ship, you should arrange correctly. That is very similar to any container ship. Containers should be loaded and unloaded for each port the ship is visiting, and then many container, only some of them is delivered there, and the other containers are loaded up to going for another places. It looks like a bus, public bus. A public bus visiting 20 or 30 bus stops. Each bus stop, there are people on board and then off board. Very similar to this case. Question? No. And this one is the general arrangement drawing of the ship I showed you 2 days ago, Tuesday. Mobile harbor, A1 type, 250 they can handling, 250 TEU of container. Right? But drawing itself looks like this. You also see that this drawing is made by STX shipbuilding company, offshore and shipbuilding, right? And right-hand side, see that there is a small box. Here you can see there are some people, the name of the drawing, date of the drawing, and also who drew this drawing, and who also checked this drawing, and who approved this drawing. There are people names and signature there. So once it is released, the people is in charge of, or if something is wrong, then he should be in charge of this engineering result. So this is important general arrangement drawing for the shipbuilding company. And principles again, inside out, or not outside in. So interior arrangement is important for the general arrangement people. The inboard profile is an interior arrangement of rooms and before exterior appearance. But sometimes it is not in this way. Sometimes exterior is more important than inside, depending on the ship. Say luxury yacht, or say something like a high-speed Navy ship. That kind of situation, exterior is more important than inside. But it depends. So there is also a conflict between them. Oh, here it says, but in a yacht or passenger ships, the reverse the procedure. So that exterior can be more important than inside. And ship or components in service. Say, what happens if in bad weather, rough sea, and rain is falling, and rolling and pitching? I already told you that rolling is sideways motion, rotational motion. Pitching is front and back motion. It is a kind of another rotational motion, but rotational axis is different. And deep submergence. So what can be happening if in service? And so that, as I told you, that the center part, near the center of gravity of the ship, the motion is smallest, so that more people want to stay there, and also equipment with the very sensitive equipment, something like electronics or missile, should be located near center of gravity. And finally, the designer want to stay in the onboard when ship in service. That can be the test for him. Right? If he is in bad situation, bad condition, bad healthy condition, if he on board, that can be a not good design result. Right? So the designer should be staying on board when in bad weather of the service. Okay. So let's see, there is one video. Let's see the arrangement. Looks like a computer-aided design for three-dimensional general arrangement. So it is easy to manipulate. And this one is going down toward the engine room. So piping is very complicated. And the four circular part is a funnel coming from towards the engine. They need exhaust gas coming up again. Right. Oh, this is a shape from the top and bottom moving, and the part, and first toward the first part, engine room. So this is a three-dimensional drawings, but we need to, in old-fashioned way, is that we need to make this, represent this model into 2D drawings. So nowadays, more and more people use three-dimensional CAD models instead of 2D paper drawings. Okay, this is the engine with the exhaust gas pipe. Two engines, actually four engines, four diesel engines, but two are combined together each. And shaft line is toward the propeller. That's enough. Question? Okay, then we can move on to next slide then. And this is a dry bulk cargo carrier, right? Cargo ship. But the type of cargo is a dry bulk cargo. And from the number one is cargo hold. Number two is hatch cover, but it is saying large hatch cover. And number three is a machinery space, the engine room here. Four is navigating bridge here, where the captain is located, so that he stay there, see the motion of route of the ship, and he will make handling, curbing, and then also acceleration, accelerator, or braking, very similar to your car driving motion. Number five is accommodation, a hotel facility for crew members. And six is double bottom lubrication fuel stores. Six double bottom space. This is also small rooms used for fuel oils. Number seven is deep tank for fuel and water. Where's seven? Deep tank here, seven. Fuel and water. steering gear, 8 steering gear, because this is a rudder here, steering, and 9 is after peak. AP is after peak. Water ballast, and 10 is deck store here. There's a room for cargo storage. 4 peak is FP, 4 peak tank. Void space, small cargo. So this is the sample of dry bulk cargos. Something like wheat grain, sugar, alumina powder, polymer, flour, and ash, that kind of thing. So you need to special device to handling this cargo, unload, offload the ship. So that is we call bulk cargo ship. So this is a real picture of bulk carrier. They have a very big opening and hatch cover. So when the ship is at port, the opening is side wide, then the hole is, the cargo hold is very big opening there. Using that opening, we can pour down or take out the bulk cargos. And then conflicting items again. There is a conflict. Something like a noisy item from cabin. Something like a library and disco bar should be far away. Right? So there is a conflict again based on environmental noise. And also major structural items into the layout. A pillar, cylindrical pillar at the center of the theater cannot be a good solution, right? The theater should be open enough, large opening, so that the seaside eyes view should be good enough. Right? And then also something is wrong with the machinery. You need to have a repairing the engine. But to repair the engine, you need to have your hand, your device should be approach that portion of the device or engine. So something like a space to replace the piston of the engine, because the engine itself is very big, as you see from previous slide, last class. Piston size is something like 5 meters something, or 10 meters. Then if you want to replace that piston, you need to have a big crane and also space to take out. And tubes for the piping from a heat exchanger, that also need a space or clearance, or wrench and screwdriver for smaller devices too. So this is a sample photo of a cruise ship in a theater. There is a show going on, but you see that there is a pillars, strut in front of the passenger seat. So that's not good. So the price for that seat should be lower, right? And in the downstairs, in the front part of near the stage, there is no pillar. So that can be a royal seat and with a high price. So as a designer of this ship, how can you arrange your structural pillars? Because you need a pillar to make a structure is safe, not collapsing. Tanker is an oil tanker. They carries oils, so that they don't need to have an opening, large openings, as something like a bulk cargo ships, but they need the pipes and pumps that is important for loading and unloading of oils, crude oils. Here, the bottom of that is very interesting bulk cargo carrier with a self-unloading coal carrier. It was famous near the Great Lakes in United States.